This is my extra credit review on Mitt on Netflix. Okay, the first thing I guess I'm surprised about is how touching it was, kind of. I don't know, maybe I'm sensitive with things, but to see how much Mitt Romney and probably all the other candidates put into traveling and trying to raise money and their families, and how exhausting it is on everyone. That's not something we normally, or I normally think of when I'm thinking about who's running for president or vice president or even senators or House representatives. Listening to This American Life and how much it costs and the money that they have to raise, the $10,000 to $15,000 a day, and then seeing this film really, I guess it was just an inside view as to how exhausting it is and the toll that it takes on everyone involved. I thought it was interesting how in 2012, I think Mitt said, I want to say it's 2012 or I think it was 2012, because in 2008, it was against McCain and Obama. But how Mitt said Obama had changed the race and changed their prospects and everything for them to recognize that, okay, he's bringing something different to the table. I thought that was interesting, and he actually said it out loud on film. So, yeah, to see his rise from kind of a nobody, and how at the beginning of the documentary it said percent of Americans didn't even know who he was, to becoming a presidential candidate. It made me feel like any of us can do that. He ran for governor and won as governor, but he was kind of an unknown person, really, as far as the majority of the country goes. So that was inspiring. And I was kind of let down how you would hear them say, oh, please guide, they're praying and they're like, please guide us, help us, let's make this better. And it made me realize how strongly the candidates' convictions must be as to the fact of them believing that their opponent must be wrong. I guess you have to go into it with that mindset that I'm the best and they're wrong. But that was kind of sad to me, because I felt like, well, maybe we'd be better off thinking they're not better, I'm not better, but maybe together we can come up with solutions. And I want to say before there were a president and vice president candidate. It was in the past, there were your two candidates, and then whoever didn't win as a president was then the vice president. And maybe that wouldn't be too bad of a thing to go back to. So it was just sad to see how they would always be talking how badly Obama was, and how our country was in need of someone else to lead. And his concession speech, that was really touching. But how do you say you've chosen wrong nicely, kind of sounded like he was trying to do. But it made me think how we would probably all benefit if, rather than saying they're so wrong and we're so right, we would be better off if they decided to come together. So, and the other thing that I picked up on was in this documentary was the difference in just watching the clips from their presidential debates to what I've seen so far this year, and how depressing it is. I mean, the vice presidential debate was better, for sure, because there wasn't just a whole bunch of yelling over one another. There was actually talking and listening skills that were involved. Um, but in 2012 and 2008, to see their debates, even for like the Republican Party choice, and then the debate between Obama and Romney, they seemed much more mindful and coherent, and just wasn't the shit show that we got to see this year. So, and even 4 years ago, that was kind of a little bit of a ridiculous debate then, but this year just blew it out of the water. So that's what I took away from this, was really how exhausting it is for the candidates and their families and everyone involved. And I feel like I was emotionally kind of there with them. And to see behind the scenes of what happened was enlightening. But also like how hard it is to raise the money, um, what they really think about their competitors, and maybe how we would be better off if they weren't so divided.